Pep, it's been a strange few days for many of us, really. This is obviously your first game back since last week in Seville, that postponement of the game against Tottenham. Would you have preferred to play on Saturday?
It's what it is.
Could the football fans have paid their respects during that game, do you feel, personally?
I think everyone in this country, we have seen the images, BBC, the coverage for the passing from the Queen Elizabeth, so it's everyone, I think, individually, intimacy, pay the respect that she deserves.
You happy with all the arrangements tomorrow? There will be the minute silence and the players wearing black armbands.
What they decide, everything is going to decide will be perfect.
Just on the pitch, this game against Dortmund is obviously one that Erling Haaland is looking forward to. Has he intimated to you any additional excitement or nerves at all against his former club?
Well, intimated is not the real word. No, we spoke in general. I didn't. No, especially. It's our job to speak about BVB. Of course, I spoke about some players and what they think. They were there, but at the end, it's tomorrow when we start the game, the quality of the players that will make the difference.
Do you think he can be the overall difference in the Champions League for you this season? You've been so close.
I'm not able to know it.
Sorry?
I'm not able to know it. I don't know.
He's proving to be at the moment, isn't he?
Sorry?
He's proving the difference at the moment.
Definitely. Yeah. Not him. All the team is playing, going well, behaving well, but I don't know.
Could you just give us an update on John Stones? Kyle Walker wasn't training today out there. John Stones was.
John training. Kyle doesn't, but yeah, John is fit. Good.
And you were happy last week with the debut of Manuel Akanji. Is he in consideration again tomorrow?
All of them are in contention, and Manu, with just one half training session, he adapted really well, and more than that, we're going to see every day in the training session. We are really happy to have him here.
Hi Pep. Aymeric Laporte was on the training ground this morning. How is he? What is his fitness state? Is there any chance that he could even be on the bench tonight?
Well, I don't think so. We will see. It's the first training session, but looks good. The training session yesterday partial, today was complete, and he moves really well. I spoke with the doctor. I make the surgery, Ramon Cugat, doctor, and he said, need a little bit more volume on his leg, but in general, he's going really well. We are happy for that.
So, if he doesn't not involved tomorrow?
After you have just one game, 12:30, and after international break. And I told you, as international break could be, in terms, will be ready to start to training and think about it, can use it with a lot of games that we have.
Hi Pep. After the Sevilla game, you said that you sometimes don't need to rush the game too much because of Erling. Ilkay said that it can be a bit tempting to use him every time, but he needs to continue all the runs, but maybe not use him every time. Can you elaborate on when you think it's right to use him and when it's right to be a bit more
my
patient?
friend, you make the real question in football and life. It's not what you have to do, it's when we have to do it. And that's why football is so difficult. I said many times we review the videos and make a pause, and you say, look guys, the space is there. Yeah, we are sitting in here in the auditorium watching the clip, and this is fake. How you had to get a decision, how you had to put it, how many times you had to pass the ball. And when you had the ball, you didn't have to pass the ball. But only belong to the players. That's why I said many times, we are overrated, the managers, about our influence. So the game belongs to them, and the decisions have to be made, and they can express and do it how many times they want it. They can miss it one time, because sometimes you have to give the pass, and sometimes not. The first goal against West Ham, Ilkay passed the ball to Erling. Erling get the penalty. Now you're going to tell you she didn't have to pass the ball and make the run. It's football. It's what it is. They take decisions, and that's fine.
But can his runs be as important when you don't use them as they are when you see the pass from De Bruyne or something like that? Does he?
Yeah, the pass has to be gone, but imagine a striker make 50 runs and don't get one ball. At the end of 51, said, I don't run anymore. So sometimes you have to, actions are counter-attack, you have to do it. I'm not much concerned about that. So football, they run, they take decisions in one portion of second. They have to take a decision. Sometimes it's right, sometimes wrong, but who knows that? So the intention of the players is do the good passes, the good action. So that's why it's not a big problem for me if we do it. But of course, we would like to go together because we are safe. And at the end, for example, the first goal in Sevilla, the action start right, go to the left, finish in right, and score a goal from Erling. So sometimes you have to make a little bit more process to do it.
Thank you.
Hello, Pep. I'm from the Norwegian Broadcast Corporation, and I was wondering in what way could it benefit Dortmund that they know Erling Haaland and also Manuel Akanji as good as they do?
I didn't listen quite well, sorry.
I should speak up, I'm sorry.
No problem.
In what way could it benefit Dortmund that they know Erling Haaland and also Manuel Akanji as good as they know them?
Benefit from Dortmund?
Yeah. How can it benefit them?
Because they used to play for them, so they know them. So does it help them to defend against them?
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's true. They know these players better than I know Dortmund players, that's for sure. They were there for 2 or 3 years. Manu a little bit longer, Sergio as well. They play there. Yeah, they can get the benefit. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see tomorrow with advantage or disadvantage. Also, they know the quality of the players from Dortmund too, these 3. So, we'll see.
Thanks. Everybody can see that Haaland is a great striker and a goal scorer, but what does he need to improve?
He's young, he's hungry to get better, be better player. It's going to happen. Football is not, individually can improve, of course. He's the first that he knows because at the age he has, 22 or 23 years old, you can be better, that's for sure. It's a connection, I said many times, a connection with his mates. Question of time, they will make better player.
Great, thank you.
Bro.
Hi.
Hi.
How did you react when you heard the news that you were going to sign Erling Haaland in the summer? Because we'd spoken about it so much.
That I didn't.
Yeah, when you found out that City had managed to get Haaland, what was your immediate reaction?
Quite good.
But were you speaking to Cheeky or?
Yeah, Cheeky talked to me. It was 2 seconds conversation.
So you're just like, okay, fine, that's.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
And last week in Seville, you played Foden.
What would
right?
you do?
Hey?
What would you answer?
Well, no, I just wondered whether you might have punched the air or hugged Cheeky or something.
I think we had an incredible striker with Gabriel, but since Sergio left, it's so perspective to have a player for many years, not just for a short period. So I was delighted with Gabriel. I love this guy, like he knows, like you cannot imagine. But you have the chance, and the club make the effort to try to to bring him here. So why not? It is the answer. Come on, you know that.
Sorry for another Haaland question, Pep.
No.
I just wondered if you'd noticed any difference to the way teams are approaching playing against you this season. Ilkay was saying he thinks teams are going to start playing deeper and deeper against City this season to try and stop that, cut that space in behind.
We just play 5-6 fixtures, and I have the feeling that there are managers no change, and other circumstances. It depends if Haaland is or no involved, and there are other managers that they adapt. So it depends on the quality of the managers. If I play, for example, against Marcelo Bielsa, it's not going to change. Playing against Jurgen Klopp is not going to change. And some other managers is going to change. So I would say, except not all, of course not, but mainly we faced the last year's teams set back and deep, United was only kill us in the counter-attack, so set deep, so it depends of the managers what they feel. But I think it's not going to change much differently than the past. It depends of what the manager thinks.
Hi, Pep. Just in terms of team selection for tomorrow night, do you have to take into consideration that you're being asked to play Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, and then 12:30 on Saturday?
Yeah, a little bit.
Will you pick a team and then pick players?
No. I want a team to win tomorrow. It's so important. So until World Cup, we have to arrive at the World Cup, being there in the Premier League, being there, close to the top of the league. And after World Cup, we'll see how the people come back. But in Champions League, because it's that, is qualify. We make an important step. We're going to play against we're going to fit tomorrow two teams, like won the first game, and Champions League at home, you have to be strong. If you are now closing the games at home, you will be there. And tomorrow selection do, but in the same times, maybe there are players like, it's 12:30 Saturday. We are lucky that we don't travel. We are here. And this Wednesday, Saturday, 12:30 is the risky one, the more difficult one. A team like Wolves, like how difficult it is for the mentality they have, for the way they play for many, many years. And they have a long week to prepare, more than a long week, 2 weeks to prepare exactly that game. And that's why I have 20 players available. Everyone is fit, fresh, mentally, and I try to make. I'm pretty sure all of them is going to play, maybe not in the beginning, but most of them are going to play both games in the second part of each game or whatever. That is my feeling right now.
Hi Pep, you said earlier you had general conversations with your guys who used to play for Dortmund. Whenever you have those conversations about what you played with this team, what do they do you get good advice? And has there ever been a player or some players that you thought, this guy really knows what he's talking about in terms of...
what they say to me?
Yeah. Is it good advice?
Yeah. They're entire. The players knows about football. They know exactly what they're looking for, and some specific players, for example, have doubts about the quality of this player. They know me. They know them better than me. So when you are in the locker room and you are in the pitch, training sessions and games, in terms of mentality, they were 2 years with them or 3 years. They know perfectly, much more than me. I can watch 1,000 million videos or tapes about the games. Will be better. Therefore, they help us. Of course, the way we want to play and the way we want to approach, it depends on the quality. The players we play will be different. They play 4 in the back, 5 in the back. They play in diamond. They play 4-2-3-1. They play 2 strikers. That is less important than the fact maybe how is the manager, how they thought they play against us 2 seasons ago. So a little bit of that, yeah. And they know it. They know better than me.
You've talked in the past about the fixture list being already so tight. You have one game, obviously, to fit in now. Probably be after Christmas now. How concerned are you about these postponements and the fixture pilot that it may create?
We will find. Premier League have the ability to find, the fixtures. Maybe Tottenham game will be in February, March. I don't know, because now I think it's not possible. We will find a way to in the Carabao Cups, FA Cups in that moment. So. Yeah, we'll find a way. We're going to play this Postponement game. It's not a problem.
Isn't it the worst season for it to happen, given you've got the World Cup in the middle?
Always was the fixture was so tight every season. So now it's different because we stop, not the players, but backroom staff going to stop, have a break in winter time, like in Germany normally it is, and after we see how they come back. I don't make they have, of course, tomorrow after international break. After international break, we have 1 month and a half with a lot of games. We have 7 Premier League games, 5 games at home. It depends if the Arsenal game will be postponed or not, and World Cup. And after we see really the end of the season, how we are in the position, how the players come back for the World Cup, especially the good moods, bad moods. After we have national teams, and after make the last 3, 4, 5 months of competition. only we can do to be there at the end.
Ilkay, looking forward to the game, and Erling Haaland, can you give us your thoughts on how well he's settled in with your team?
I think very well. I mean, the numbers, they speak for themselves. I think he's doing great on the pitch, but also his character, his attitude, his determination also off the pitch is something incredible. And for such a young boy, he's very mature, and I think his future is very bright. I think he's gonna show us a lot more, not just this season, also for the next few years. And I think the club signed an incredible player and also an incredible person.
Has he expressed any particular excitement or nerves even playing against his old club?
No, I saw him very happy actually after the draw. After he saw that we are playing Dortmund, he was sitting right next to me and he was very happy. He was actually asking me what I was thinking, and I think we are both excited, to play against our former team. Obviously, it's quite in the past. I'm already more than 6 years here now, so for him it's probably going to be a lot more special than for me, because he will know 95% of the squad still. I personally know still a few players, and I'm really looking forward, not just for the game here tomorrow, also for the game in Dortmund. So obviously it's a special occasion for both of us.
And is he the man? You've come so close in the last couple of seasons in the Champions League. Is he the man who can make that real difference to you and take you over the line and win the trophy?
We hope for it. I mean, obviously having a proper number 9, a proper striker now, physically strong, determined, is going to help us a lot. But we will see. I mean, obviously the Champions League is something incredible to achieve. It's a very tough competition. It's never easy, and sometimes little details can decide the outcome. So obviously we're going to try again this year to come as far as possible, and to play a good role in this competition again.
Hi, Ilkay. There's plenty of links. There's you, there's Erling, there's Sergio Gomez, there's Manuel now as well. Do you take the emotion out of it tomorrow night, or do you use that somehow in the game?
I'm sure it's impossible to take it out, because either of us will have memories, attached obviously to Dortmund. And I believe all 4 of us, we have mainly positive memories, I think. So it's going to be quite difficult to take out the emotions completely. I mean, obviously, you deal with them always as a professional football player, and you try to deal with them in the best possible way. But I think it's about using them to, in your favor, and go from there. Maybe not to be overexcited, and just try to keep calm and cool, which can be sometimes the most difficult thing in football.
Okay, what differences will Erling notice in terms of the transition from the Bundesliga to the Premier League? I know he's scored a lot of goals early, but the Bundesliga seems a very structured league. You only play so often, whereas in England you get all these games. Is that a particular difficulty he's gonna have in the weeks and months ahead?
No, I don't think. I think he started already incredible, and I just think the way is going to continue like that. Of course, the Bundesliga is a different competition. The games, especially with Dortmund, might be a bit more open. He might have more space to run into, which is maybe not always the case here, because also the way we approach the games, we always face teams playing quite deep, quite defensively strong. So that might be something that he needs to adapt to. But he has done that already, by example, playing against a team like Nottingham Forest, and he scored 3. So I think he has shown already that he can adapt in a certain style, and can just continue like that.
Hi, Ilkay. Pep, after the Napoli game, said that you sometimes rush the ball a bit too quickly to Erling. Do you understand his remarks about that?
After which game, sorry?
No, sorry, not the Napoli game, the Sevilla game. Sorry. that you sometimes rush the ball a bit too fast to Erling, that you could be a bit more patient in the build-up. Do you understand what he means?
Yeah, I understand. I'm not sure if that was particularly something connected to Erling, but obviously we know that we now have someone, who can make these kind of runs. But I've just mentioned before, and probably the manager knows it much better than me, that teams are going to start playing deeper and deeper against us, not just in the Premier League, maybe even in the Champions League as well. So that might be even more difficult for us, to play these kind of through balls or balls behind their back. So it's about taking your patience and try to wait for the right moment to punish the teams.
When you have that striker making those runs, because he's always making those runs, can it be a bit difficult as a midfielder when you see that he's doing it, not to choose him?
Maybe yes, but it's also important that he continues to make these runs, even though he might get the ball in just, 10% of the cases that he makes the runs, but he will always force the defense to react, and that's going to open space for other players as well, So it's incredibly important for us to have him and him continuously making these runs, because that's not just going to create chances for him, it's going to create also chances for other players.
Hi, Ilkay. Congratulations on being named captain. In terms of that, Fernandinho left in the summer, Alex Zinchenko as well, two big guys in the dressing room, and Sterling and Jesus too. How is the dressing room any different this season in terms of voices and characters, and is there anything that you need to do differently as captain to kind of fill in maybe?
I think the atmosphere is quite similar, to be honest. Obviously we lost good players, but also really good guys who were important, for the positivity that we have in the dressing room, for the atmosphere. But I think also with new players, coming in and also stepping up, you kind of see also the way through their characters, and them contributing also to the whole atmosphere. So I think that's never really an issue. That's something that every team in the world needs to deal with, recruiting new players and having players leaving. And my personal role might change a little bit, but it's really more about what's happening around the team, probably, in terms of organization and dealing with a few things. But I was lucky enough, to have someone like Fernandinho, and even this season I contacted him and I asked him for a couple of advices in a few things. So he helped me out already, even though he's not here anymore. But obviously it's a new role for me as well. It's something that I might need to grow into a little bit as well. But me personally, I don't try to change too many things. I try to lead by example. And even though maybe I'm not the loudest one, in the dressing room, I try to lead with my actions, and with going forward always. And that's really it. We have a lot of characters, in that team. Who are loud, who are quiet, everyone is different, so obviously that's something that naturally takes its process throughout the season.
Hi, Ilkay. I just wondered if you could talk about how important Dortmund was in your career. Obviously starting off with a bit of disappointment at Schalke, but then it was Dortmund really where you sort of shone.
Incredibly important, actually. I mean, I had 4 years with Jürgen Klopp, I had 1 year with Thomas Tuchel at Dortmund, and I am very grateful, to be honest, what they have offered me, how much they taught me, how much the club gave to me, and I feel privileged to have played for a team like Borussia Dortmund, and also being able to win the league with them, to win the cup with them. It was extraordinary, and I wouldn't want to miss it a second. And that's why I will always remember the time that I had there, the 5 incredible years I had there, and still have connections, to the team, to have connections to the people around the team, and it was a big honor for me to be a Borussia Dortmund player.
Ask in English, please, guys.
Hi, Ilkay. You're into the last 12 months of your contract here now. Where do you see your sort of long-term future? You're still happy here, presumably?
I'm very happy. I was throughout all the time that I'm already at the club. But obviously it's football, you know, in some ways it's also a business. So we will see what's going to happen at the end of the season. But I just try to contribute to the team with the way I play, with my football, in the best possible way. And then we're going to see what will happen next season.
Okay, sorry. This team has come so close to winning this competition, obviously semi-finals last year, final the year before that. What have you learned as a group about from those near misses, if you like, and what do you feel it will take to finally go all the way?
I think the most important thing in that competition is that the margin of doing mistakes, or I don't know, the little details that just decide, you know, especially when it comes to quarterfinals, semi-finals, and final, obviously. The margin is just so tight that no mistakes are really allowed, you know. I mean, obviously, in the last few years, the way we got knocked out was in some way maybe a little bit tragic in the way it happened, to be honest. But I don't think that we should regret anything. At the end of the day, it's always an experience for us. It was incredible, you know, to play the final with this team, with this club, even though we have lost it. But it was an incredible experience, and as a competitor, you always take it as it is. You know, you learn from it. You try to get there again and to do better, and that's all we can do at the end of the day. So the target again for this season is the same: to try to reach the maximum and to see what's going to happen.
Last question, please, guys at the back.
Hello, Ilkay. I'm from the Norwegian Broadcast Corporation. I was wondering how you and the other players feel about all the attention Erling is getting in the media. Can it be a bit too much?
It's okay for me, actually. I guess because I am a player who doesn't really need that much attention. But I don't think it's any problem so far. I mean, if you score that amount of goals that he's doing, then probably in the modern day of football, it's quite normal that you get all this attention, and so you probably deserve it as well. But honestly, I didn't think 1 second that it's gonna cause any issues in the team. So as long as he keeps doing that, I'm more than happy with him getting all the attention.